This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Oh good, you're here, because I'm going to show you the easiest way to win at Magic the Gathering. You go import one of these decks from Twitch that are built by genius, huge brain, excellent players, and you go smash everything in your site, and you have a pile of gold, and everybody at school thinks you're the coolest person alive. Hello guys, welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it is CGB, but quick introduction to CovertGoHeel, the gimmick. Some of you met him in Brawl Hall. He's made some appearances on Twitch. But when the glasses go on, it's not me anymore. It's not CGB. It's CovertGoHeel. It's the bad guy. If you're not familiar with the heel terminology from wrestling, it means the antagonist, the character who is rude, has no regard for the life of others. And I thought that would be a very fun way to review some of the decks from the World Championship, since I've covered a lot of them already, and discussing some of the individual card selections, the minutia of why these cards are in this deck, when I've already done a lot of mono red, done blue-white control, done Team of Reclamation, done Jund Food, done Jeskai Fires. That just kind of gets exhausting, but I thought maybe playing it with a little sass could be fun. So when you see the sunglasses, I'm getting in character, you guys, and that's the important thing to remember. Are you ready? So this deck, this absolutely amazing, incredible deck, you're going to adore everything about this deck because basically it broke the game. It just broke the game. There's so many Magic cards in the world, but if you play this perfect combination of efficient cards, you get to kill your opponent before they actually get to play your cards. Unbelievable. And this card, this deck features just the most nonsense in the history of the world. This card right here, this is your like Darth Vader style masked like freaking Leonidas guy. Freaking unbelievable. Gets bigger and bigger. Whole bunch of text on this card. I haven't actually read it. All that I know is that this card just gets bigger the more things you do, and even if it dies, there's still more things. Like, it's kind of nuts. You just, when this card lights up, you play it and you see what happens. And then on top of that, we got another card. This card. This card is 6 freaking mana, which normally you can't play at all. And it has a whole bunch of text as well that I've never read. But there's a glitch in the game that lets you actually... It's the most stupid glitch of all time. You actually get to win the game way ahead of schedule. Sometimes, viewers, I'm going to tell you this secret. You're only going to find this knowledge here. Sometimes when you attack, this card just lights up. You don't have 6 mana, but the card lights up. And when this frickin' badass Excalibur lightsaber card lights up in your hand, all you have to do is play it. Doesn't matter where you put it. You just attach it to something and you win the game. Like I said, I haven't bothered actually reading the card because really it's just a glitch. It's just a glitch card that instantly wins the game randomly if you attack with enough things. So, because some pro discovered how to exploit this glitch in the World Championship and has revealed it to the world, we're going to go just smash the holy hell out of Arena and not let anybody else play any cool cards and throw our lightsaber on our Leonidas and just freaking end all humanity. Every other deck just has no chance, and you're going to love it. We're going to go absolute smash and bash, a standard event, just to show you how this insane glitch in the game actually works. So get ready to dive in, because this crazy nonsense is really about to begin. Look at this hand. Look at this hand. The opponent may as well not play Magic. The only problem is we're on the draw, which isn't supposed to happen. This deck is supposed to be on the play. Obviously something went wrong with the software, but we will keep it. Our opponent, they led with the hello. So they want to be like, we're nice. See that? Now you always, with this deck, you have to play hello right away. Make people think that you are their friend. And then you show them what's really going to happen here. That you're going to smack their face. And that they're going to get absolutely no quarter from you in this game. Very important. Very important part of properly engaging with this deck. It's the truth. It's just the truth. The opponent with a tapped land, that's basically like signing their own death warrant. We have choices. Runaway Steamkin isn't particularly good. It gets bounced by Teferi. It's not really where you want to be here. But at the same time, when you're on the play, the only real chance you have to get in with it is right here, right now. It's kind of tricky. Maybe I do just want to rob this Rich. You hear what I did there? Gonna rob this Rich. On the draw, yeah, I think I'm just gonna smack that Robber of the Rich. And you see we drew the Lightsaber. And now the big question is if and when it's going to randomly light up for us so that we get to do nonsense the way that we want to. Oh my god, that's not even... That's gross. Well, the next trick that the opponent's probably going to have is a card that kills all of our things. Now, they played a Banishing Light, which means they might not have it. Maybe I'm just supposed to play a Steamkin here. I like getting a whole bunch of damage in when I can, but we're going to take a chance. We're going to take a chance that the opponent just, you know, maybe they're missing the land. Maybe they're missing the Shatter of the Sky. Maybe they can't do anything about this. Because if you stop to think with this deck, I notice not much goes right. Now, there's that fourth land. So, hesitation. That isn't it. That is not it, boys and girls. That is not the card that kills all of our things. Gotta give a good emote there, just to let the opponent know how insanely stupid it is that they didn't draw exactly what they needed. And for our next trick, let's rob this Rich some more and see if the opponent has a play they need to make. If they let me get in combat, maybe our sword will light up. Maybe this game will end. Oh, they let us get into combat. It's possible the sword will light up. It's possible. Exile thing, it did. It completely lit up, everybody. Let's see if we can draw some kind of effect out of our opponent, like a negate. Just because we can. Because it really doesn't matter at this point what we do. I'll point this over here. Maybe we'll see some kind of a Brazen Borrowing activity. And up. Alright, well, why not? Why the heck not? When the sword is lit, we are legit. And yeah, like I said, the truth about Magic, right there before your very eyes. Now we went first. That's how it's supposed to work. We don't have that many early creatures, but still a keep, because we'll definitely draw one. Oh, almost misplayed. Gotta shoot the hello. Gotta let them know we're nice people who mean business and have no intention of letting them have any cards on the battlefield before they're completely dead. Another blue-white mage. Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah. Since they're nice, that's what we do. Give it to them. Oh, that's a big card. That's a big card. I'll just take that, please. That's what red needs. More ways to get cards from the opponent. Good stuff. Opponent slowing down. They probably have that Omen of the Sea card. We're going to play this Annex, but I'll attack first. Just to give them, just to let them know we mean business. If they have a Brazen Borrower, they might want to bounce this now. If they do that, it makes Annex stick around longer. Here's the damage. Almost certainly an Omen of the Sea moment that we're facing here. And since this protects against sweepers and just generally makes it so nobody wins, that's what we'll play. For the second game in a row, our opponent has Omen of the Sea. This one's even worse because they're on the draw. Can they figure out a way to not simply die? We've already got the sword. That might light... Hey, it could light up next turn. You never know it. I suspect our opponent will play Teferi. Try to slow us down a touch. But we're not going to let that go too far. Another Banishing Light. This is looking really familiar. Looking really familiar. Fourth land. Yeah, let's just punch the opponent in the face really freaking hard. Will this opponent have the Mighty Shatter the Sky on curve? Our last opponent didn't. Our last opponent just couldn't stop the pain that they received. There's a Fabled Passage. Sacrifice it. Find a land. Do they have it? Nope. Specifically, they just never have it, do they? I wonder if we can light up this sword. Let's go find out. Now here we don't actually have to act. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then some. So we don't even have to play the sword, but we probably should just as a really cool flex. Because if you don't establish dominance over these blue-white mages, they'll just run all over you. You really gotta throw some juice on them to discourage them from even trying. This is why people need to watch my show, because you never knew. You out there, you never knew Magic could be this easy, did you? You had no idea. Easy keep. Don't forget the hello. Gotta let them know. Gotta let them know that you're coming for them. Godless Shrine, tapped land, what a joke. Alright. Well, this turn's interesting. I sort of like the idea of playing Fervent Champion Rimrock Knight and then having Annex as well, and then a haste follow-up, but I also like Robber because we start exiling cards right away. Yeah, we'll go with the Robs. I don't know if it even matters what order you play your cards when you're playing this deck, to be really honest with all of you. I don't know if there's any thinking even required. I mean, we have Annex, we have Light Up the frickin' Stage. Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Treacherous Blessing? I could draw 3? I could really draw 3 right now. That's insane. But the real play, Hardened in the Forge, immune to their Nightmare, makes 2 creatures if they manage to kill it with an Oath of Kaya, protects you from board wipe if they are looking to Kaya's Wrath you. Makes an absolute mockery of their deck. Robber the Rich dies, I still get a creature. Alright, now we punch him in the face really hard because we have this card. It's protecting us from a board wipe. So why would we hold back in any way? It's absolutely ridiculous. Let's go ahead and Boulder Rush, because that's fun too. Then we'll light this stage. Our opponent at only 2 life. And we've got a Bone Crusher Giant exiled. So without life gain, they're dead. They get to take our Torbrand, which they don't even get to take that. It's a creature. They just get nothing. Yep. Don't forget the toxic emotes if you have a chance to use them. My god. Easiest 3-0 in history. Who knew Magic could be this simple? I mean, why think? Why put other cards in your deck at all? This is all you have to do. Dust Eater, appropriate name because you will eat my dust. By the way, when you draw 2 of these, there's another bug in the game that makes them hit for twice as much. It's kind of ridiculous. It shouldn't exist, but there you go. Uh-oh. It's another Galaxy Brain competitor, everybody. Alright, we're going to start out more defensively than I want to. Not attacking here. Gotta slow the opponent down if they have this card as well. Don't want to give it away to them. Want to make things complicated, like Avril Lavigne always says. You really want to go and make things more complicated. Yep. We're up against another pure genius. Not only did they get on the play, they had the shock. And the rock. It's the shock and rock connection. Alright. So here, we can take out their creature. We can also Fervent Champion light the stage. But I kind of like what I have coming up, so I'm not even sure that lighting the stage is right. It's possible I want to play defensively and play Bone Crusher and see what the opponent does. If they play Annex, that's kind of frustrating, but I can get their creature off the board. Next turn, play my own Annex. I think that being a little more defensive here makes a lot of sense. The opponent will see right through my plan, because they'll immediately say, oh, played land did nothing. Obviously, this person is a closet control mage, posing as a red mage. And since they have an Annex, we want to do this before it resolves, so that they don't get a token when we kill that thing. Sword. The mighty sword. So we could play our own Annex, which doesn't pair up against theirs very well just yet, but might by next turn. Also, if we play our own Torbrand, this thing hits insanely hard, so drawing a land off the top becomes really good. We could also play a Bone Crusher Giant, something to block their Annex should they attack. They don't have the creatures right now to play an Embercleave. I think I like the value play here. We've got 5 cards in hand. They have 3. They have 1 more land than we do. So right now, the longer the game goes, the better it is for us. Like I said, this opponent can tell right away, Closet Control Mage. Closet Control Mage at work. Definite block there. The opponent might have had a pump spell, but you can tell by the way that it passed priority that they really didn't. So neither of these can block. It's an opportunity. Our champion might be able to get us a light up the stage here, but we could also play an Annex and a champion and get our own Annex working. So I like playing Annex first, then champion in case they have a way to kill it. Now we could attack here, but then we don't have blocks, and we're behind in the life total race, and if the game goes longer, we should get stronger. So we'll throw it back to our opponent, make them figure out how to deal with a first striker and an Annex that spits out tokens if they do. See, a little control experience. Let's get real. Real CGB says a little control experience can go a long way, even if you're a red player. Sometimes you play the red mirror as the control deck. It does happen. Now enough of that intellectual loser. Let's get back to things that matter, like how to properly torture our opponent and emote toxically whenever they touch the rope. Bone Crush the face. Ooh. Possibly a sign of some weakness there, the need to light the stage, but we don't see it. Interesting. Okay, post-combat light the stage. Land Rimrock Knight. If they had done that pre-combat, I guess it wouldn't matter. The Rimrock Knight still doesn't want to run into the Fervent Champion. So we could try attacking and see if the sword lights up. We are in this weird spot where if the opponent gets to attack us, they could have the Embercleave, but if they had it last turn, they would have played it, right? Because they had 4 lands, 2 creatures. Definitely could have done it. And they're at 20. Right now, this is 7 damage. If they use the castle, it's 10. We're at 14. We're not dead. And in 2 turns, we can win the game. Yes, indeed. Torbrand might just be the... It might be the right play, because then we have 2 blockers, and we set up our Embercleave even better. Let's do it. Because this guy is not taking... He's not goofing around right here. A 6-point punch, making the Embercleave lethal next turn, leaving us with more blockers this turn. That is, of course, if our card lights up, like I said. Don't bother reading it. Just play it when it lights up, kids. Aw, they're moving in. The opponent wants to get them some. So, if they have the Embercleave, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not lethal. Not enough mana left over either to activate the castle. But with a Bone Crusher Giant, it could be. So even throwing 1 blocker takes them off lethal. So I think that's what we do. Because their best hand is Embercleave, Bone Crusher Giant, right? And then I can beat that. So let's go for it. Yep, Knight is down. And another Rimrock on the Rimrock. If you smell LLL, what the rock is cooking. And there, our opponent's sword, a little late. A little late. Now every good red mage has to throw a nasty preemptive GG before attacking for the easiest frickin' win of their life. And wow, they're a sport. What a good person. Let's annihilate them. Because that's what this game is all about. 4-0. 4-0. All my brain cells intact. That took like 15 minutes. Unbelievable. Nobody knew this game was so easy. Sign me up. Put me in the World Championships. Let's go. Let's go. Well, we forgot to go first. My bad. I'm really sorry, everyone. But we'll still keep this hand. Temple of Malice. Well, if our opponent's on some kind of a Grixis thing, I'm not worried. If they're on Sacrifice, it could be a big problem if they have Mayhem Devil, Woe Strider, and that kind of stuff. And here they are passing the turn, so there might be another Bone Crusher Giant here. Because of that, I don't like playing the Runaway Steamkin. I think we go for double champion, or maybe I actually do. Because here's the thing. How good is this Steamkin actually going to be if I have to play it next turn? And when I do play it next turn, I want to play it with another creature. Let's see what happens if I just attack. If the opponent kills this with their Bone Crusher Giant, I'll play the Steamkin. If they don't, I might just pass. I might just pass and stomp their face. See how they like it. And there it is. The opponent going in for the Bone Crushes. Letting the Steamkin resolve here. Do they have another solution for it? A little scry action from the temple. Seems to imply they're on Sacrifice. I don't think you play these scry lands in the Knights version because it needs to curve out too much. The other sword deck, the other guy throwing their lightsaber around. They like to give their lightsaber to a dinosaur. Ooh, okay. Opponent with an interesting take on Rakdos. Seems they came prepared for this matchup. Disgusting, really. Let's hit him with the champion, and then we'll bone smash some face and try to play kind of a long game. Because I still don't know if they run creatures or what more they run with creatures. So there's their giant. Another tap land. All right. Let's throw a stomp on their face. Start picking away. Attacking with Fervent Champion screams I have something I'm going to do to you, but we're going to do it anyway. Opponent with the easy block. So we could put another Bone Crusher Giant in XL or use Rimrock, and I think Rimrock is the best way to do it. Since the Bone Crusher Giant direct damage spell is much more flexible. Takes the giant out of the way. And now with 3 mana, let's develop our own 4/3. Keep constant pressure on this opponent. They might have a Storm's Wrath or something like that. Yep. So some Rakdos control deck. I hear that clown regular, that goody two-shoes, nice boy CGB was playing something like this. What a loser. Well, we'll put them in their place now. The big question here is, would we want to stomp the face or play the Rimrock when our opponent might have a second Storm's Wrath of some kind? And I think at this point we say, show me. We go to Missouri. They have a motto in Missouri. They're the show me state. This is the show me red deck. Show me your second Storm's Wrath. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now we can play this Spitter, because we're not afraid of a sweeper no more, and try to pump up this Steamkin. Get the absolute most out of this card that's most likely to die, to be honest. The opponent seems to be on a removal deck, so surely... Oh, they go for a 1-point Erebos' Intervention on the Rimrock Knight. Okay. Let that resolve. What they got for the Steamkin? Is it another Erebos' Intervention? Sacrifice a creature. Very rude. Very ice cold. So, putting another counter on this won't do the job. Gotta let it go. Like I said, opponent on basically an absolute cheater deck of removal tribal. I think we'll get more in with the giant if we just play out the giant here. Although I don't know. It's possible we still want this stomp and we want every point of damage. But because Ember Cleave is a card, and it might light up if we draw it, let's throw this giant straight to the battlefield. Send him right to work. That's pretty rude too. That's pretty strong. Annex off the top. Let's just stomp out this Liliana before anything good happens. Land off the top, get a little scry. It's only their 4th one, no biggie. Scry to the bottom. And a Bone Crush of my face. Interesting. So I think this opponent, well, awkward cards. Awkward cards, one after another. I'd love to be more mana efficient. I also want to get the Steam King going. I also want to get paid. This, if it trades, actually makes some tokens. So what to do when your opponent's at this really low life total? You sort of want to play out your best cards too, because they might have hand hate. We haven't seen any, but this deck almost certainly runs some hand hate. I'm going to lead on the Hardened in the Forge. Make the opponent find the right answer here, as it's not an easy card to beat. They show off that they bought some fancy lands, that's cute. Now we want to up our devotion before swinging, and we definitely want to swing. A trade gives us 2 tokens and puts the opponent in full top deck mode. They're at 18, we're really deep in the game. And it still feels like the red deck isn't out of it yet. Unbelievable. This castle card just makes it hit harder in the late game. And just like that, they're down to 6. Just chop 2/3 of their life total in one hit. And we're on turn like 9. And that's game. Why, you can't beat this deck with just removal. You need card advantage too. 6-0. Game is, we're already going for 6-0. Another insane draw. But the opponent, look at that, they came prepared. What a warrior. So this time, this Fervent Champion here is a big problem. And I don't really want to block and try to trade with it, because I've got 2. I could also play this Scorch Spitter, but it probably can't attack next turn. And there might be a case where I want this Rimrock Knight instead. You know, I could play this, it might get removed, and then I can go champion if the opponent's impatient. I guess that's kind of grounds to play a Spitter. We forgot to hit him with the hello, we forgot to hit him with the emotes. Got too wrapped up in my own world. If I lose this game, it's obviously an emoting issue, without question. If I had emoted earlier, I'd probably be all over this game. There you go. They go straight to Shocktown. Look at this. I didn't know we were playing against another god of magic. And there it is. So now, attacking our opponent with the double Fervent Champion isn't looking so hot either, is it? We gotta play double defensive Fervent Champion. And we gotta emote some more. Just to let them think. Let them think we know what's up. If they have their own Annex here, that's probably the best draw they could put together. Yeah, that's good. That is how you do it, everybody. But no attack. Setting up to turn on the lightsaber next turn, I think. Well, that's the way it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be. Here we just have to shove. Hope that our light up the stage gets us really lucky. So I'm not actually gonna use Rimrock, even though I'd love to. Bone Crusher land? Okay. That can get rid of a Fervent Champion. And we can keep it out of combat, too. Let's end the turn, say go. There is some risk of an Infuriate Gamer, but if we kill it on our turn, they gain a token. And if we do it on their turn, it has Summoning Sickness, which could matter if they're missing their 4th land. Well, you know, that's a card that they could also just have. So, if I kill something now, I keep Embercleave from happening, if they don't play a land first. Right? Okay, they're not going to Embercleave at all, because they have this Robber of the Rich. So let's make them figure out their attacks. Their attacks are everything. Pretty smart. Pretty top tier, if you ask me. It looks like we may have to lose. Our opponent, they just had all the tricks. I mean, we can put a sword on them, but we're a mana short of getting there, I think. How about staying alive? We put a block here and a block here. Take 1, 2, 3. We would need 3 blockers to stay alive. And I don't think our things would survive too well. So, let's see what this card is. I guess that's the way that we actually figure out how to win. So a block here, a chump here. They have first strike, can't really get through that. I guess we say go. Make the opponent find the way through. Pretty gross. Saying go lets us possibly block with 2 champions, and there's a Scorch Spitter, so they still have a blocker. How do they want to line up the attack? That's the question now. What they shouldn't do is leave me alive. And let's hope they exile land too. This Robber of the Rich card could be important. They don't want to let me have too many creatures alive, so I can Embercleave combo them if I can get away with 1 block. Like, if this is their attack, they're doing it wrong. Let's see what they do. No attacks. Interesting. And they're at 16. So something can get through for 10, but that's it. But look what we drew. The opponent waiting another turn here. Could cost them 5 blocks. They hit me for 1, 2, 3, 1, 4. So I would have to be able to block. I could let these 2 through. I block here, 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 here. Yeah? It's a plan. And now I have a giant creature to put a sword on. Could matter. No attack. Oh, oh yeah. Let's do this. The sword lit up, everybody. Fortune favors us today. Math is for blockers. That's the way the world works. There was a play, and we'll see if it comes up. There was a play I could have made to get 1 more point if I had rimrocked first and played this knight. Let's see if it comes up, though. Here's my Embercleave. The sword lit up. Have you ever seen such a sucker punch in your life as that? You thought I was dead, didn't you? 6-0, going for 7. We even remember to go first. How hopeless for our enemy. Oh, they have the dragon, which identifies them as a whale, which means we literally don't care what happens to them now. I'm going to go ahead and use the Robber, but I don't want to trade the Spitter. I've got a Torbrand in hand, by God. Daybreak Chimera. Gonna be hard to cast that. Getting our White Devotion up might take a little work. Look at the 1-drops. Okay, now the opponent's establishing to me that they want to try to out-attack me. A block here is actually interesting because it can keep their Marshal from attacking. It can keep Loxodon off the battlefield, so now I sort of want this block. Pretty happy about it. Alright, with a Light Up the Stage and a Bone Crusher Giant, we can attack here. I have to be... If I want this Robber to exile something, I need to play the Bone Crusher Giant first. Just keeping the opponent down on creatures is pretty solid, and I don't think they'll double block me anyway. So yeah. I'm going to stomp out... Actually... No, this is even better, right? If they double block one of these, great. Great. I get a 2-for-1. I get double exiles. This is rock solid. And I have a free Hawk I get to play. I could light up the stage this turn and try to hit for Torbrand, but I actually like saving it. I actually think I should take this turn and get my free Hawk. Because now if they want to get aggressive with me, I have a block, and I can keep them down on creatures. They've got their own Pride Mate, that's pretty good. And they're going in for Tribunal, but they didn't grow their Pride Mate. That's a big deal. It means Bone Crusher will remove it. So I think my plan here is going to be attack, light the stage, and I'm probably Bone Crushing this, but I might reveal something else to play. No land, but we did reveal another Bone Crusher to stomp this Pride Mate to the ground. Our opponent finds a Heliod. That can grow this Hawk, but we can take this Hawk out pretty quickly here. And the opponent chooses the Marshal instead. Perhaps they feel like the Hawk is already a big target. We're missing land drops. We can't get our hand quite low enough to take advantage here of the Robber of the Rich. So this turn feels like I Bone Crusher Giant away the Hawk. I attack with these two. We Rimrock Knight this Hawk. I think that's the plan, because otherwise we're going to lose this Knight. And this still could come down to card advantage. The opponent doesn't have easy access to life gain there. Here the odd becomes a lot worse. They have a Linden, though. Things are about to get ugly. Instead, it's another Conclave Tribunal, which we love that it's taking out these creatures. And our opponent is also having mana trouble. Still 3 cards. We could get this Robber of the Rich low enough to get another card if that were important to us. But I really want to establish some red creatures on the board. So I'm not that worried about that. Let's go ahead and play Robber, attack with both, get some damage in, our opponent down to 4, play another Rimrock Knight, and then we're ready for Torbrand next turn, with multiple sources of red damage. Heliod, activate. Giant Killer on the field as well. But no source of life on the ground. We're only a point of damage away, and we found the lethal, and in absolutely disgusting, insanely incendiary, mono-red fashion, we are going to beat a mono-white life gain deck with its own Healer's Hawk. Even when I play red, Heal CGB finds a way to beat people to death with their own cards. What is there to say? Easiest 7-0 of my life, even after a full day of casting and doing a watch party for Worlds. Perhaps Covert Go Red. I could get used to this.
The history of this world is one of conquest.
My final notes.
My turn.
Shut up, Ob Nicholas. My final notes. Don't change anything. Just play the deck. It's easy. You'll love it. When the card Embercleave lights up, put it on something. Easy. Heal CGB. Don't forget to like and subscribe.